Hey guys, I know it's Tuesday and I'm uploading this video today, but, tomorrow I am taking a very, very important test. I'm taking what is called a PERT test down here in Florida, and what it basically does is it gets you into dual enrollment. So I'm not going to be able to upload a video for you tomorrow, just because by the time I get home it's going to be really, really late. So I'm uploading this video for you now, because I promised you guys 3 videos a week, and I'm going to try and keep that promise as much as I possibly can. But I couldn't really think of anything to do today for my video, because usually video ideas come from videos I've seen prior or books that I've read. And I would do a book review today because I actually just finished a book. I finished 2 books, but I don't have either of those books with me. So, no book review for you guys today. Sorry. So instead, I decided to do the Book Lovers Survey Tag, and I originally found this on Patricia Cheam. I'm pretty sure it's Cheam. Patricia Cheam's channel, and she said that she didn't know where she found this tag, so I don't really know where I found this tag either. So I'm just gonna kind of link her video down in the comments, or down in the description box below, instead of the original video. So there's 11 questions, and yeah, I'm just gonna go through these 11 questions and tell you my answers. And this doesn't really require any books except for the last question, and I'm too lazy to go and get my book, so I'm just gonna tell you what I'm reading. So the first question is, do you remember how you developed a love for reading? I've always had a love for reading, like a serious love for reading, but I kind of lost it when I moved from Michigan to Florida. But recently how I discovered a love for reading is my friend, one of my past friends, kind of like acquaintances now, she actually introduced me to the Mortal Instruments, and I picked it up, and I've been reading continuously. I read continuously that series, and that took me through all of end of 7th grade and 8th grade. And then when I went into high school, I made friends, and we kind of had like a little book club thing, so that seriously got me into reading too. And since then I've been reading a lot, so I'm happy with that, and I really do like reading a lot. The second question is, where do you usually read? And that is anywhere I can find a comfortable spot. I read in my bed, I read on the bus, I read in classes when I should be working. I just read everywhere and wherever I can find that's a good area, and I usually read with my music on. I listen to all different types of things, so it kind of just depends on the book for what I choose to listen to, but I listen to music while I read, and I read pretty much anywhere. One time last year, a lot of people used to make fun of me because I would go under the biology tables in freshman seminar, and I would just sit there with a book and I would read, and I wouldn't even have headphones, and I would just sit there under the table and block everybody out and read. But fun fact. The third question is, do you prefer to read one book at a time or several at once? I don't really care, quite honestly. I usually read one book at a time, just because I think it's easier for me to get immersed in that world, but I have read more than one at once. I know that I'm going to be reading more than one at once a little bit later on in this month, so it'll be interesting to see how that turns out. Number 4, what is your favorite genre? My favorite genre is like fantasy, paranormal, romance, adventure, that kind of stuff. I read a lot with Nephilim and like angels and demons and that kind of stuff. I don't really care for stuff that focuses on vampires and witches and warlocks and werewolves. I will read that kind of stuff, like in the Mortal Instruments or something, when it's just like a minute part or a little part but things that really, really focus on it, I'm not really a huge fan of, just because I think that it's tacky, and yeah. So, I just don't really care to read that kind of paranormal. That was the fourth question. The fifth question I kind of just answered. I don't read it's what generally will you not read? Like I said, I don't read vampire and werewolf books that are mainly focused on vampires and werewolves. I don't read classics as much as I probably should, and I don't read contemporary novels as much. But that's something that I would like to get into reading. I just don't know very many good contemporary books. So if you have any recommendations, you should totally tell me. Number 6 is, do you have a favorite book? I do not have one favorite book. I have favorite series and trilogies, but I don't have one favorite book. As most of you know, one of my favorite series is The Mortal Instruments, and my favorite trilogy right now is The Infernal Devices. My favorite standalone is Predator. It's an adult book, so you guys probably won't know what it is. But yeah, so those are my 3 major favorite areas right now. What is the worst book you've ever read? Oh goodness. I don't remember the worst book that I've ever read, quite honestly. The last book that I've had like serious trouble reading, and I haven't even been able to get through the first book, is The Hunger Games. So yeah, the biggest book that I've ever read has probably been about like 598 pages. I haven't read anything over 600 pages yet, but eventually I plan to read the Harry Potter books. So if I read those, then I might be reading a book over 600 pages. Number 9 is, what was the last book that you bought? The last book that I bought was I believe it was the last song, and a few other books that I got from a bargain bookstore. And number 10 is, do you prefer reading library books or buying books? Personally, I prefer having my own copy, but I do not have any money, so I usually end up going to the library for books, unless it's a series that I really enjoy, and then I buy it. Or if it's a series that has a super pretty cover and I want it on my shelf. Like the Unearthly trilogy, really want that series on my shelf. And the Embrace, I think it's a series now, it might be a trilogy, I don't know. But really want that one on my shelf, because the covers are beautiful. And number 11, the final question, is what are you reading right now? I am currently reading The Fallen Forsaken, which is the 4th book in the Fallen series. Really enjoying these. I've given every book so far, I think except one, 5 out of 5 stars. They're really good. They're about Nephilim and stuff. But yeah, so that is all I have for this video right now. And I will see you guys in my next one.